Thank you for watching this presentation on preventing zoonotic disease. This presentation will go over best practices for therapy animal teams and how they will influence havoc. This is Kate Miller speaking. I'm one of the animal trainers and volunteer coordinators here at Havoc, and I'll be narrating this presentation today. We have several learning objectives for this presentation. We will define the terms zoonotic disease and fomite, and review how they relate to animal-assisted therapy. We will cover the most up-to-date information we have on pets and COVID-19. We will also go over several policy changes that we will implement at Havoc. A zoonotic disease is transferred from animals to humans, or vice versa. Common examples of zoonotic diseases include rabies, leptospirosis, and giardia. You may recognize the names rabies and leptospirosis from the vaccines on your annual medical form. The potential for these zoonotic diseases is why we require therapy animals to be up to date on these vaccines. We also require an annual fecal exam because diseases, such as giardia, can be found in fecal material. Our knowledge of how COVID-19 interacts with animals is constantly evolving. We are still determining the overall risk of COVID-19 as a zoonotic disease. On the present slide is current information as of August 2020 from the CDC website. There's currently no evidence that animals play a significant role in spreading COVID-19. The risk of animals spreading COVID-19 to people is still considered to be low. It does appear that the virus can spread from people to animals in some situations. There have been confirmed cases of COVID-19 in companion animals, but those cases have been rare and the infected animals are expected to make full recoveries. A fomite is anything that carries germs from one place to another. Germs can be moved on shoes, clothing, medical equipment, and much more. People and animals can be considered to be huge walking fomites. While animals may not be able to catch something like the flu and become sick themselves, they can carry the germs from one person to another on their fur, leash, or collar. It is clear that zoonotic diseases and fomites are prominent concerns for therapy animals. Therefore, going forward, there will be several changes to Havoc policies. This slide represents a summary of those changes. We will go into each change in more depth in the following slides. Your animal should receive a bath immediately before you go to your therapy session. Note that sponge baths can be an appropriate alternative to a fully immersive water bath. Once your animal is bathed, travel directly to the agency. Do not stop at the pet store, dog park, or anywhere else where your animal may come into contact with contagions. Cats should not receive frequent water baths, and therapy cats are no different. Instead, cats should be washed using pet wipes specifically designed for cats. Clients should always wash their hands after touching a therapy animal. Hand washing with soap and water for at least 20 seconds is preferred. However, hand sanitizer may be used. You should carry either hand sanitizer or hand wipes with you during your visit. Animals should wear a different collar for their therapy sessions than what they wear for everyday use. The collar used for therapy visits should be washed along with the Havoc scarf every week between visits. If harnesses or gentle leaders are used during visits, this equipment should also be cleaned between visits. Any additional equipment, such as jumps, tunnels, hula hoops, or toys, should also be disinfected every week. Assume that animals are not allowed on beds unless otherwise stated by the agency where you are volunteering. If the agency does allow animals, or their paws, to be on beds, a sheet or disposable gown must be placed on top of the bed. The animal should never come in direct contact with a patient's bedding. It is always up to the discretion of the agency whether or not they allow animals on the beds. Walking through a hospital, long-term care facility, school, or other agency exposes our animals' paws to a plethora of germs. We highly recommend that you disinfect their paws before re-entering your home after a therapy visit. You can use a disinfecting foam, mousse, or wipe that is designed for animals, or you can wash their paws outside with soap and water. Havoc animals have always been required to have an annual medical form. Volunteers are also required to carry a copy of this medical form with them during their volunteer shifts. We recommend placing the form in a sealed Ziploc bag to protect it from tears, water, and other forms of damage. Once your form is sealed in the Ziploc bag, keep it inside your Habit bag to ensure that you never forget it. Thank you so much for your time and attention to this presentation. Thank you even more for everything you do for Habit and the entire community. Truly, the world is a better place thanks to you and your animal.